Dear Heavenly Father, we are thankful for the opportunity to be here tonight to address the business of Newcastle. We just thank you for the blessings of living in a great country and a great state, great community, dear Lord. And we ask blessings on these proceedings tonight. Lead and guide us in all manners. May we live our lives in a way that pleases you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll call the January 12th, 2026 meeting of the Newcastle Public Works Authority to order. First item on the agenda is roll call.
Carl Lamb.
Here.
Jean Reed.
Here.
Tati Amico. Mike Fullerton.
Here.
Marcy White. Here.
Item number 2, discussion and possible action on approval of the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second. Motion second for approval of the agenda.
Jean Reed.
Yes.
Tati Amico.
Yes.
Mike Fullerton.
Yes.
Marcy White. Yes. Carl Lamb.
Yes. Item number 3, citizens' comments. This is an opportunity for any citizen to comment on any matter related to the City of Newcastle Public Works that is not on the agenda. Might remind any potential speakers that all speakers should actually state their name and address for the record. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per person with only one speaking opportunity. Board members will not respond to comments or questions. The chair may end comment period at his discretion, and prior authorization is required for distribution of materials or to approach the board. This time is for public comment concerning the City of Newcastle Public Works. All right, seeing none, move to item number 4, consent agenda. Is there any member of the board that desires any items on the consent agenda to be taken off and addressed individually? Seeing none, item 4, consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion second for approval of the consent agenda.
Jean Reed.
Yes.
Tati Amico.
Yes.
Mike Fullerton.
Yes.
Marcy White. Yes. Carl Lamb.
Yes. Item number 5, discussion of possible action on any items removed from the consent agenda, being no action on that agenda item. Item number 6, discussion of possible action regarding the adjustment of utility accounts. Item 6A, account number 08-4411-01 at service address 1824 South Portland Avenue. Toby Garrison. Mr. Garrison or Representative this evening?
Yes, sir.
All right, please approach the podium. All right, tell us about your leak, Cody.
Well, I want to thank the City Waterworks because they called me and after it was a little bit too late and they noticed. So, and turned it off for me. But yes, I had a water leak up by my main and come to find out my meter is over 200 yards from my house. So I did not realize it was even leaking until they called and told me. So I was wondering if you could help me with the bill in any way.
So did you have that repaired, I assume?
Yes, sir, I fixed it.
All right, did you provide those to the city clerk or the water department yet? Okay. Okay, in the packet, very good. So I don't have to, when did you get that fixed? 12/9 or 20 maybe?
Yes, 12/9.
12/9, okay. So the reason I ask is building date was 12/22. So if you got it fixed on the 9th, that should have captured all of the excessive water leak by that time. So I'll make a motion to adjust the October, November, and December 2025 bills down to the average of the prior 12 months.
Second.
Motion second for adjustment of utility account.
Jean Reed.
Yes.
Tati Amico.
Yes.
Mike Fullerton.
Yes.
Marcy White. Yes. Carl Lamb.
Yes.
What's with it?
10, 11, 12. When it started going up pretty much as you can. So. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good evening. Item number 7, discussion of possible action on approval of Pioneer Library System Architectural Expansion Project update for the Newcastle Public Library.
I think we'll need to unmute Camille so that Christine will try to meet you.
Yeah. Hello.
Oh, we have been. Okay. Okay.
Hi, Christine Lynn, are you able to hear us?
Yes.
Yeah, it's video.
She just turned on mute. No, where you on mute? I can. She doesn't.
You can hear.
You might use your outside voice, Christine Lynn. Mayor and Council, thank you so much for allowing us to provide you with an update on the exciting project that we have underway for Newcastle Public Library. Christy Lambert Hughes is with MSR Design and has been working with us on the design. She's going to walk you through the concept design so that you can see the work that we're proposing. And then I believe we will ask you to approve that work and answer any questions that you may have to the best of our ability.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for that intro. Are you all hearing feedback?
Nope.
Just cutting you watching.
Okay. Perfect. We're just going to go over a rough schedule update. I'm going to go over the existing building analysis very briefly. I know I went over it last time, just in case there's any new people out there. And then we're going to go over the proposed design. And then at the end, we'll hear any questions. I look forward to hearing your feedback, positive or negative. We're always willing to look at the design and make sure it works for the community. So as we all know, we've been working on this project since August of 2025, and we are now in January of 2026. So we're kind of in early construction document phase, meaning we did a lot of design work with PLS, and now we're just working on getting the documents together so that we can get them out for bid. We're thinking either kind of mid-April, early March, and construction starting in either April or May, and kind of filling out until April, May of 2027. It's actually pretty quick for a construction schedule. So when we originally started this project with PLS, we were kind of doing a master plan analysis of all of their branches. And in Newcastle, these are kind of some of the recommendations. You all know you're currently undersized. You have the highest visits per capita. You have average computer use, but your loans are very high, which is great. And then you have a higher than average amount of households with people under 18, and that's kind of important with how we think about programming this library. So again, we kind of did this analysis for all of PLS's buildings, and the things that we took away from Newcastle is it didn't have very good collaboration space. It had some outdoor space, but again, it's the gazebo, so we need to kind of coordinate that with the city. It didn't have a maker lab. It does have maker technology, but not a specific lab. And it only had that single conference room as kind of meeting space. So those are all things we're trying to improve and get into the sufficient, if not inspirational. So this is kind of, you all know your floor plan. You're sitting in the pink area right now. We have that shared space, and then we have the program space. What we'd like to do in this is just make sure like the staff space isn't out of alignment or things like that. So this is just kind of looking at existing. And this is what we proposed originally. We do have the addition number 2 to the south. We're thinking of maybe putting the program space, outdoor program space, in a 3 zone. However, you'll see that we've made some adjustments there. So the proposed design, I'm hoping that, can you see my mouse? Well, we'll start verbalizing kind of it. So the blue box is where the existing conference room is. And we're kind of incorporating that into the library programming, knowing that having conference space and meeting space is important, but it becomes way more efficient to be able to kind of like house that in there and then kind of relocate it. So that's going to be the new entry. So you're going to go in the existing entry you all came in. And instead of turning to the left to go into the service desk as currently, you're just going to go straight right into the library. We're very excited about that because that view down there will also kind of entice you into that area. And then we do have kind of that existing space that we're reworking with the 2,000 square foot addition kind of in that pink box. And then we have this great green box that is kind of now the outdoor. So right now the children's area and the maker space are both kind of in that addition area, and it's
It's connecting again.
so we're very excited about that. There's some renderings in there so you can get a better sense of what that is. Oh, also we're moving the 24 hours holds and moving box right next to the main entry so that you can park in that existing area, just kind of walk in there. You can kind of take care of that and go back. And we also have the book drop off that's kind of happening to the south. where it currently is, so that we can kind of keep that patronage, so kind of like that traffic separate from the traffic that is going to linger longer. So the interior floor plan and amenities. When you first walk into the door, you'll have a lot of kind of like the new books, your DVDs, kind of those quick grab and goes. There's a self-check there. And then there's a new AMH. So AMH is an automatic material handling system. This will help PLS and their staff be far more efficient. So the best part is you put your book on there, it goes into a conveyor belt, and then it sorts it. So the library has to do less manual work, and it allows them to free up to do program space. So we're very excited about that addition. From there, we have some study tables, and then we have our teen collection kind of in this back northwest corner with their collection. However, the best part about that is it's really flexible focus area. So while the teens may be hanging out there during their time, this is available all the time to anybody who would like to work in that area. We do have a new service desk location. It has eyes on the front door as well as eyes kind of to the new door to the south. So that's kind of in this medium blue color. We have 2 5-person meeting rooms, and they'll have technology in them. We feel that's a good size for you all and can accommodate kind of tutoring as well. We have the adult collection. All the collections are relatively staying the same. So the adult collection is just moving here. We have a couple of adult study tables that are kind of clustered in there, so it feels quiet. So more tables to be able to be used for tutoring and studying. We still have public computers. We're going to reduce them a little bit, but they're also going to install a laptop vending machine. So you'll be able to take this computer and use it anywhere in the library, which we always think is very great. We still have our business center, which is your copy, print, and fax area kind of here. And then we get into the addition. So at this line right here is where it becomes the addition. And that we have a children's area with kind of an enhanced youth learning area. We're very excited about that. It kind of helps differentiate between the adult area and the youth area. So there's plenty of study tables that are further enough away that you won't hear all of the excitement and learning that's happening in the children's area. These are low sections of shelving that's by right here. So you'll be able to see from the outside. We have a couple of interior renderings so that you can see that as well. And then we have our new Maker Lab. It's going to have all of the amenities plus more. It's going to have your embroidery machine, 3D printers, laser cutters, sublimation printers, all of that. And it's going to be housed in that room to keep some of that noise down, but also to kind of get it all in the same location. So programming is really great there. There's potential for pop-in making as well. And then after that is kind of that outdoor space. This is kind of an axon view. All the white area is, well, you all are currently kind of sitting in this white area. This is the ballroom area and this primary entrance. We feel this gives kind of people who aren't used to looking at plans kind of a very good understanding of what we're talking about. So again, you kind of pop in that door. You have this whole collection kind of space over here. You have that teen area during teen hours, but otherwise flexible space. You have your service desk here. You have a couple of meeting rooms, you have your adult collection, and this gives you a good understanding of kind of how that children's area lays out, as well as that Maker Lab, and just kind of how that front area is with the shading structure. We all know that being outside in Oklahoma without shade is not very habitable, so we're definitely going to get that shade structure in there, and that can be used kind of for yoga classes in the morning or outdoor story time. We do have a low fence that's around that area to corral the kids. It's not a fully enclosed area. We still want to allow people to kind of move in and out of that space, but it does give enough protection so that kids just aren't spilling into the street, because we do know that that's a primary street to the south there. One thing we want to do is we want to talk about exterior finishes. There may be rain right over there. It may also just be in Roxanne's area, but we are getting brick materials kind of delivered to make sure that we can get the best brick match that we can get for this. Red brick is all over the place, but the nuances of red brick, we just want to make sure we get the right tone. I just wanted to make that. Our renderings aren't exactly perfect when it comes to materials. So I just wanted to make sure everybody understood that we're going to be doing existing brick kind of on that. So this is a rendering kind of looking from the south east corner. This kind of shows that low fence. You have your shade structure here. One thing we're pretty excited about is the single kind of slope roof. It's the same pitch as the existing, but instead of going to a gable, it just keeps flying up there. It's kind of a great billboard for this new library signage here. So you'll be able to see it easier. We also understand that most of the traffic is coming from the east. And it also kind of coexists with that existing entry there. This kind of gives you an idea of how tall this space is. So we're going to try, the ceilings are at 10.2, along with the tops of those windows. And that kind of works out with the banding of that existing soldier coursing that's on that existing building. So we're excited about kind of taking that gesture and moving it into the new addition, but doing maybe a little bit more modern twist on that, where we have multiple lines of that stacking soldier course instead of just the banding. And that kind of helps define the tops of those windows. The window sills are currently at 1'6", so they don't go all the way to the ground, so it's easier to maintain, but you still have very big vistas on that side. We are installing shades. We understand the sun is intense. So when in those times that glare is a problem, we do have shades that can take care of that. This is just kind of a close-up view. It talks more about that banding. Again, you can kind of see the banding on the existing and how it kind of plays into this banding. And then the banding kind of aligns with the tops of those windows, and then that turns right into that ceiling plane there. Where we do have that additional headroom and kind of space, we have slanted the ceiling so that you do get that great view out to the east. We're very excited about that. And then we're going to keep that existing walk that you have and just tie into it. So that people can walk from the parking lot kind of to this outdoor program area. Should there be a yoga class, they don't necessarily need to come inside. They can still go out there if they need to. Also, just community members can come use the space outside of library hours. So this is kind of looking at your front door. You all went through this door to get to this meeting. We're going to move that. There's what the baseline. We'll talk about some ads potentially, but the baseline is moving that in this enclosure right next there, so you have kind of a condensed area of service. And this just kind of an understanding, kind of will be getting some of that metal panel to match the existing building kind of on that north elevation. There's some interesting conversations about if we could put art up there or something. So a vinyl graphic, a mural could be really cool up there as well. So this is just kind of that view from the entry. And then when we're looking from the southwest corner, this is kind of the existing building currently. It's just that standing seam metal, white metal on there, which is kind of giving us the reasoning for putting that on that north elevation kind of back here. One thing we wanted to note is that we are moving the current transformer and the condensers that are currently on the south side kind of to this elevation. So we're making a very clear front door at the front entry, and this is going to be a very programmed side yard. And then kind of now this is kind of more of the back of the house side. We are going to have a perforated metal screen wall on this side too, so that you can kind of detach from that parking. That'll be fairly close to you. So you can just get a little bit of privacy in there if you're doing yoga. It'll also help probably the kids focus a little bit during story time. So that's kind of that taller area right here. Again, this is kind of the drop-off movie box. It's not fully drive-upable, but it is definitely easy where you can just come here, park, pop out, put your book in there. One thing we wanted to talk through is just kind of the interior concept. Colors are always something that are very personal to people, and so we like to embed it in place so that we can kind of all get on the same page around this. So just, you all know this is Newcastle, and we have the boundary curving of the Canadian River kind of on the east side. We have the veining and streams of the dense trees. We think this is super fascinating. Where you get your streams in here, you get kind of this very, very dense tree cover, which is really nice. And then you have your existing grid of like a patchwork of farming, which we know you all are developing. And then you kind of have the red earth of development. And it just creates kind of these different colors within the scheme of old farming, and it just kind of takes us to the next level. And then we have this community growth grid that goes over the top. And that's kind of understanding that now we have these new kind of developments that are coming in here. They're adding another grid over these kind of acre grids that were the old ones in the farm And so it's just kind of the interaction of all of these things that is very fascinating to us about Newcastle. So we're kind of looking at the various hues of greens as well as kind of the clay color, and then we have some wood kind of representing kind of the new grid of housing as well as kind of the sloped roofs of that housing development. So we're taking a lot of cues. This is a wall covering, and it's kind of the first thing you see when you come in. It's kind of behind the desk. It's a very abstract version of what we think kind of Newcastle is. And then on the desk is kind of this trapezoidal kind of tamper wood wall. It kind of matches the existing wood of the existing wood panels, but kind of gives it an elevated modern kind of twist. And then we have this idea of kind of these various greens that are going to be throughout the building. And we're using that kind of existing soffit line that you've all experienced walking in as kind of the datum line. So we still have our very light, bright ceiling and just kind of banding of color to kind of help with wayfinding as well as just developing other things. We're keeping with PLS is very smart. They always kind of neutralize anything that's going to be there for a very long time. And they use paint and things that don't last quite as long. That for those pops of colors, for example, furnishings and those kinds of things where you can very easily reupholster them. We are doing a little bit of pop color in the bathrooms, which we're very excited about, as well as some of the accents, kind of when we're in those meeting rooms, kind of a more intense, kind of saturated feeling, which we're pretty excited about. So these are kind of some of those interior renderings. They're pretty good considering, but the nuance of those greens and things like that, it could be showing up slightly differently on your screen than it is on ours. So PLS has a whole series of samples that they've kind of improved for this, but this gives you the feeling of the space. So this is you're essentially standing in that existing conference room right now with those walls blown out. You're seeing kind of the returns directly to your left, and then straight ahead you get that first sight of the service desk, which we really like in your existing space, and we definitely want to keep that. And that kind of green saturated area in the back is going to be that flexible space or team space when they're out of school. And this is kind of looking if your back is at the addition, kind of looking back at that service desk. So those two meeting rooms are kind of over to the left, as well as the adult collection over there as well. And then this is the children's area, which we're very excited about. So that's kind of showing that really, really high window to the east there, as well as those high windows that are looking out to the south. You can kind of see, the picnic tables over there. You can see some of the learning gardens. We're very excited about these swoops. So these half circles are linoleum versus carpet. So they give the kids kind of two different textures to deal with, but it's also an area where PLS can have messier programming because it's really easy to clean up. And then we just have their collection there. We're going to reuse as much furniture as possible, but we're also going to introduce some more furniture. This is the new Maker Lab. So this is just kind of looking at, again, you have this big glass window here, so it seems like one very, very big space, which is currently your space is kind of nice how it's just in one big room, but it also has acoustical issues. So we're trying to recreate that with acoustical separation. So that's kind of what's happening here with that big, large, expansive glass. And so you'll have all the amenities. We'll have acoustics in there. We'll have perforated panels so that PLS can hang all of their tools. One thing that we're still working with PLS on and you all is kind of this idea of a revamped entry. So we're looking at this first one is just kind of the base, right? We're taking that one that's currently on the south and we're moving it right next to the existing main entry. We're exploring the idea of a new canopy entry, whether it's this or something else. We're looking at that right now, but just kind of tying that entry into the new architecture and maybe making it feel a little bit more grand there. And we've also looked at just kind of maybe, well, what if we just build a new structure for the existing kind of movie box and holds area? And we have looked at that and we just don't think it's as successful. So I think Lisa and PLS and MSR were trying to see if there's a new entry canopy. And if we come up with a fabulous idea, we will show it to you and get your feedback for that. But basically, that was a very, very fast talk through of this new exciting project for you all. And if you want me to go back to any of the slides specifically for comments, we'd love to hear them. Thank you. I'll go back to the floor plan just in case anybody has any specific questions about that.
I like the outdoor area. I don't think it was on there last time.
It's a different location and it wasn't as built out.
Yeah, I like it. It's really good.
We're really excited.
Yeah, that's great. I just toured the Blanchard one a few weeks ago and I was like, oh, we're getting an addition. There's this fab, like, they have a lot of space there. So I'm excited that we're going to have a lot more space. So.
There's going to be a lot of Indy after you get this.
Good.
All across our service area.
I'm okay with that. We spent a lot of time at the library when I was a little kid. I mean, a lot. So it's a fun place. So.
We appreciate the update.
I do. And it may have been discussed already, and Jeanette reminded me if it has, but as far as the little conference room out here, we don't have agreements, but we allow Epic is always using that room. Are they going to be able to use area, I guess, inside the library then, once that's gone?
Epic is using every area in every one of our libraries.
Okay.
They are a super user. So that was truly the thought of that, adding that additional conference room. Tutoring space is just out the roof. We can't keep up.
Yeah.
And we're trying to think about these spaces in a flexible way so that a small group of students could use it, a tutor could use it more privately, or a small group, a chamber committee, those kinds of things. So there won't be any constraints from our side on who uses those rooms.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks.
Thanks, Katie.
All righty, item number 8, discussion of possible action on cost of living adjustment for all employees, excluding police and fire, bargaining units, and the city manager.
I have something I want to pull up for everybody.
If I may, should we assume that you all have approved?
It was on an action item.
Oh,
Oh, it wasn't action item?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just, I'm sorry about that. We can go about.
that was my
You can do
assumption.
that.
That's sometimes my assumption.
Yeah, well, I don't know that we have to. We can go ahead and, I'll make a motion that we approve the project as presented.
Second.
Motion second for approval of item number 7.
Jane Reed,
Yes.
Todd DeMeco.
Yes.
Mike Fullerton,
Yes.
Marcy White, Carl Nell.
Yep. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Good catch.
On item number 8.
That the term soldier in construction, does that refer to vertical bricks? I heard it with one house. I didn't know that was a convention. I didn't know if that person just came to that. And is it usually that top layer?
It's usually.
No, it's in the red.
It's just right at the very.
Right, usually at the top, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Presenting us.
Oh, yeah, you could do it another way, yeah.
The whole wall is gonna be like that,
Okay.
Yeah.
at least what they present.
So, item number 8, asking council to consider a COLA for employees. We talked about this back in May and July, and at the time, we said, well, at this point, right now in the budget, we're only recommending to give steps, basically based on where we were at in the budget and what we were projecting as for taxes. That is beginning to look better now, with our taxes that are coming in. I have had a few people been asking a little bit about COLA, since steps was the only thing that was given. I put together, basically based on what our current salary budgets are, which included those steps, and then adding the different percentages. You'll see a period of 1.5% COLA, and this is for general fund only, and then I also have the same thing for NPWA over here. But for 1.5% COLA, 2% and 2.5%, basically we are looking at additional cost, including retirement, Medicare, and Social Security, 28.4 for a 1.5%, 37.8 for a 2%, and 47.3 basically for a 2.5% COLA for all general government employees, excluding fire, police, and of course myself.
Did everybody pretty much get a step, Kevin?
Not individuals that were hired in this year after July 1, of course, didn't get a step in this budget year. It'll come next budget year.
Rather than that, everybody pretty much gets a step every year.
That's correct. 2.5%.
2.5%. So this would be on top of it. So if we didn't have the step process, we have a 2.5% annual automatic in place. This would be on top of that.
That's correct.
Are there, not that we're limited to it, but what would the economic indicator be for cost of living changes? Does it fall under one of those? And I know you may have to adjust it because we didn't offer it earlier, but with the general, is there some national number that says it's been about 1.5% or 2%, or do you know?
Yeah, so you're talking about the inflation indexes or anything of that nature? Well, I mean, I'm not real sure what inflation is now. I know that it has, increased significantly over the past year. It's kind of stable. It has stabled out and potentially falling a little bit at this point. So,
but be that as it may, there was some, employee A a year ago, and employee A this year, due to inflation or whatever, has cost of living gone up by some, do we know what percentage?
According to Bureau of Labor Statistics, it's averaged 2.69% of 2025.
So if we match that number or got close to it, thank you.
Well, and I mean, quite honestly, we've been behind on cost of living for years too. So it may be catching up to the 1 year mark here.
That's what I was.
But we've been in the hole for a while.
Gene, to answer your question, the CPI, the index shows that it's been steady, it's been level, like Kevin says, 0.2%, with a rise is all modest increase over the last 3 months. So
Norman did a 4%, just FYI, which has been always nuts, but everybody does around this, but.
Kevin, how does the highest rate impact our budget?
It's not really going to make a big dent in our budget at all, because right now we're above budget 3.4% with the January taxes that just came in. And we know that there are things that, well, for example, Brahms and Taco Bell. Mm-hmm. Taco Bell has come online, Brahms has not come online. Those are not even figured in yet in the taxes. So, but I'm trying not to, I don't want to look at that down there, because that tax money that will be generated is planned for something else.
Right.
So trying to look at what we have right now, it appears that we're turning a corner on our sales and use tax. Over the last 2 or 3 months, it has been a lot better. We've looked at this now every single month, Jeannie and I have, and talked about it. And especially we looked in December. And I wasn't ready in December, but when we saw these taxes in January and it matched up with those better numbers that we're seeing, I said, well, then we need to look at something. Not real sure what percentage council would be.
Are you proposing this to be retroactive?
No, sir.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Plus it's coupled with the fact we need to be very competitive
That's true. Very true.
To not to live in fear, but how does this help you retain good, this helps you retain good?
It helps. It will help.
Helps morale, helps retention.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Right.
It always does. I mean, of course, employees, always want more, and I get that. That's just the nature of the beast, but it does help us, to be a little more competitive. We're never going to match Norman, Oklahoma City, more, anything
Right.
like that, but, if we're a step ahead of the individual cities around us that are comparable in size or just a little bit bigger, then maybe that gives us a little bit of an edge to retain employees.
Are you bringing a recommendation tonight? Well, I put you on the spot.
I have really been thinking about this one hard. Of course, I want to do everything I can for the employees, but at the same time, I need to make sure that the city is not burdened in any way.
I don't think you would have brought something up there that you didn't think would be able to be handled, so I could easily support that higher number and the third number.
I could too, and for me, it's, employee retention and employee compensation is so important that, we're so close to Oklahoma City and these other communities. We don't want our best employees
Right.
driving across the river to go to work for somebody else.
Mhm.
Right.
Anything we can do, we can't match them most of the time, and I think our employees appreciate working for us, but we know, like Kevin said, for a long time, we've been behind the curve on trying to catch up, and so this will help us.
This is NPWA, just so that you know,
Okay.
because it is separate.
Well, that's just for the last 6 months of the fiscal year too.
Actually, this will go for 11 pay periods.
Okay.
That's how we're measuring this. It'll be we'll do it for 12. The new pay period starts Wednesday. We're going to go ahead and do it for 12 pay periods, which one pay period is less than half a year.
Okay.
But then it will have to be, because these numbers are not going to be able to be input into the system or through the HR director. It's too quick to get payroll done.
Oh, right.
So we'll go ahead and make these, if council votes to do so, we'll go ahead and make these active for this Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, which will be the 14th. But then when she does the next payroll 2 weeks from now, she'll have to back pay on these payrolls here, these numbers. Which, back pay won't be anything, but.
I think this is what, $7,000 between the two of them, and that's that's a good investment in our employees, so I definitely think that would be the route to go.
I make a motion, we listen to my motion, I'm going to recommend we provide 2.6%.
Is that?
There wasn't one else. Motion is second for an increase of 2.6% for item number 8.
Did you get a second?
Did I get a Todd?
I made sure that was all your motion, but yes, that's a second.
Yeah. Just a signal.
Sorry to interrupt, but how would we were looking at what, 2% and 2.3%?
We're looking at 2.5, so it's just a little bit more than what the highest number there. A little more than 47.
I don't know why I did that.
See, the percentage, you're probably looking at $1,000. I mean, it's not that much.
Just donated. That's okay.
All right, done.
You know with that?
I'm okay with that.
Okay, we ready?
Yes, sir.
Ready?
Yes.
Todd DeMeco?
Yes.
Mike Fullerton?
Yes.
Marcy White? Yes. Carl Nell?
Yes, item number 9, potential possible action on approval of agreement between the City of Newcastle and Newcastle Public Works Authority and the Newcastle Youth Sports Association.
This is I'm trying to get back to my.
Oh, sorry. You want that?
Are you going to push?
No, I'm good. I'm good. I kick mine off.
Very good.
If I can, you go ahead. I'm off. I kicked it off.
Mentally?
Did you want to be on?
And then some.
I'm off.
Okay, let me see if I can get on this over again. Newcastle Youth Sports Association, we have had a couple of individuals that have approached the city about starting the Newcastle Youth Sports Association which is basically only for softball, and I believe they had soccer, if I'm not mistaken. That, what was that other name of that? Okay, no, it was the associate that went from Washita Valley.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. So anyway, it's basically for softball organization. We met with these folks on Thursday, I believe it was, or Wednesday of last week. And come to find out, the individuals that are leading this push to get an agreement with the city to be able to use the sports complex live in Bridge Creek. A lot of their teams are from Bridge Creek that will actually be using our facilities to practice and, of course, play games, host tournaments, things of that nature. We did find out, however, that there is at least one individual on their board that is a Newcastle resident. The mayor just happened to show up that morning, and of course, we drug him into the meeting with us. And so the thoughts are, we're not, at first I was extremely concerned until we did find out that there is a Newcastle resident on board for representation, as the mayor had also exclaimed to them as well that we needed that representation. So they said, yes, we do have that representation. They're ready to go out there and do some improvements and whatnot to the sports complex. And basically are wanting an agreement. Now, they have some ideas to amend the agreement. They did provide an agreement that they had written, and I said, no, we're not going to accept your agreement. You'll get the exact same agreement that the Newcastle Youth Baseball Association has, with maybe a few modifications that they might like to see in there. But they did have some things in that agreement that were not beneficial to the city of Newcastle. So anyway, having said all of that, if the council is okay with outside individuals that do not live in Newcastle, that was kind of our goal, was to have Newcastle youth, Newcastle parents, board, whatever. It's a Newcastle facility. But if council is okay with the fact that they have representation on that board, even though, these individuals are from Bridge Creek, we got Bridge Creek teams that are coming in here that will practice and this and that. And this is all softball, keep that in mind, which we have not had softball out there now for about 2 or 3 years, I think.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, there hasn't been any softball participation, and they've been going outside the city, Mustang more, these little girls going to different cities to be able to play and practice and whatever.
Do they use, which fields do they use? The same as baseball?
Southfields.
Some fields are specifically for softball?
Yes, yes.
And so they've gone unused basically for?
Yeah, they pretty much have.
Okay.
And one of the fields, like they told us last week, one of those fields is in really bad shape with stickers and all of that, so they've been out there cleaning on it. They've been working on it already. Now they're doing that underneath the Baseball Association side, which was NYBSA, Newcastle Youth Baseball Softball Association. Those two organizations can't get along. So softball is wanting to split and create their own organization, which is fine. There's a lot of teams that do that, a lot of organizations. But
Kevin, if having a Newcastle resident on their board is pretty significant to you, what happens if that person comes off the board?
that's very true. But I think we have to require in the agreement that they always have to have a Newcastle resident or residents on that board.
How many people what size is the board right now?
I don't know. She did not say.
Like, I would almost say it needs to be a majority, like it's 5 and 3.
That's a good point.
I get it, we're small towns and we don't have enough, it's not like more 12th Street Park, right? But I still feel like it should be a majority Newcastle people. So an odd number with the majority. Surely, we're bigger than they are, so surely we have plenty of parents who would be involved to.
But he said they're all softball teams from down there.
It is all softball on this, but most of the softball girls that have been in Newcastle, whatever teams we've had, they went outside the city to find this place.
Well, they may be Newcastle girls then.
We did the same for years. Roman played at Mustang on a baseball team for years.
And they did indicate that the majority, more than half of their team members were from Newcastle on the teams they had out there currently, that they were working with.
Because I'm not automatically concerned that they have, I mean, what's the power of that board? What are they gonna do that, they're bound to our agreement anyway. So if they only have one or two representatives there, are they apt to do anything untoward that would concern us, or?
The only thing, and I did mention this to him in that meeting, the only thing that would concern me is if Newcastle youth or kids was being shunned, not treated fairly, whatever, because you have a majority board that is outside Newcastle. That's the only thing, and it's in that agreement that we currently have, that we've had with NASA right from the very start, that Newcastle kids get preference on these teams. So if you have a team that is, you got a slot for 10 people and you only have 8, and you got 2 Newcastle kids that come along and 2 Bridge Creek or Tuttle or whatever, those Newcastle kids get preference of joining that team.
It gets pretty sticky.
I'm sure it can.
I've heard through my younger siblings with their kids that it gets sticky and there's a lot of shutting kids out.
If they're predominantly Bridge Creek anyway wanting to use that, are you changing, I mean, are you still gonna require them having a predominance of Newcastle players?
Not if they come in with them the way they are. I'm just saying if they have an opening or a slot.
Yeah.
And you have 2 kids, 1 from each side of Bridge Creek, Newcastle, or Tuttle, Newcastle, whatever, that Newcastle child gets the preference.
Even if they're not as good?
Even if. A good coach will take care of that.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it would cover us because what would potentially happen is parents come in and say, we live here and they're not even letting our Newcastle kids play on the team. This is our city, like we're citizens of this city, we're paying in.
I can see that.
I mean, so.
Yeah, some of our people will be sensitive to that, so
Yeah.
I do agree with that, and it's almost like people from out of town dancing in our dance room, and not dance room, but the ballroom. So that trouble people. That's why we letting other outsiders come. I don't leave you managing that, however you want to manage it.
We can take reasonable measures to make sure that we're giving plenty of opportunity for our local people.
I was a little hesitant first until we got through the entirety of the meeting, and we've got a group of individuals who are very passionate about turning that into something very nice, not just continuing the way it is, but actually improving the facility and making it to where it is something we can be proud of, and something that will be attractive to host several tournaments a year, which will bring people to spend money in our community. So, I mean, an opportunity to have somebody that's going to spend that much time and effort in our facility, I think it's a good thing. You know, I don't like necessarily the fact that they don't live in Newcastle. However, they were raised around Newcastle. They spent a lot of their youth at that complex. So it's not like they're just some outsider coming in. They feel some type of ownership almost of the facility because they grew up there, even though they currently reside outside city limits. So,
And it may generate some Newcastle teams to play there.
Right.
it very well could. I mean, if we have a decent facility, we have good coaching, we have a good program in place, and you know going from year to year that it's going to be a good program, because it's just a crapshoot every year now. Is it going to be something there or is there not? And my kids played out there. Most years we played in Newcastle. Some years we didn't have at certain levels enough Newcastle kids. So one of my girls, when got up to the higher levels, we had to go have it going to a Blanchard team, and they took it. So I think it's positive. And these individuals, one of the things we've gotten into is people are really excited about being involved when their kids are playing, and where their kids aren't playing, then they tend to kind of go, and then you hope you have the next person to be excited to come along. And these individuals want to continue to work at that and continue to see that facility thrive, not because their kids are going to be there, even after their kids are gone. They want to make sure, because their oldest one's about aged out, the youngest one's way too young, so they intend to be in here for the long haul, because they just love the sport and they love an opportunity to work with youth, and they see great opportunity for that facility to be something special out there.
Carl, who is it right now from Newcastle that's on the board?
I don't know. I have no idea. Don't know.
So is this the existing one, the baseball that we would switch over, that we would adjust?
Yes,
Okay,
basically all I did was do a name change on this.
okay.
And right now, like Kevin said, it's all combined, baseball, softball, baseball kind of runs everything, softball gets, it doesn't get a lot. And so we kind of got the people that are doing it, actually doing it already. They're just doing it under softball and they don't have a lot of autonomy. And they also, all of the gate funds, everything go into the big fund that they don't have any access to do anything with those funds. They don't even know, you know, it's a really messed up deal. And this cleans it up and you really have the same people out there doing the same thing as they were before, but just in a much better organized fashion.
But we'll have two associations.
Yes.
With agreements to use that.
I think that's,
Yep.
I think that's good.
Kevin, do we limit in the agreements, I read through the whole thing, I skimmed it today, but do we limit like banners and things to advertising to make money for the associations, or are they allowed to just point at the field with?
No, we limit them or we have to approve them.
Okay.
Yeah, the city has to approve it.
I think it's a good idea. I think anytime we have an opportunity to improve a piece of property and then help the kids, I think it's a great idea.
And the Creekers are nice people.
Yeah, daughter lives over there in that area.
Someday
There's some good
we'll
folks over
have
there.
improvements there when all that finally rolls out too, so.
The Bridge Creekers, for those of you watching on video, are nice people.
I'll entertain a motion to approve, item 9, the approval of the agreement between the city of Newcastle and Newcastle Public Works Authority and Newcastle Youth Sports Association.
Second?
Motion second for approval item number 9.
Jean Reed,
Yes.
Mike Fullerton,
Yes.
Todd DeMeco,
Yes.
Marcy White, Carl Nell.
Yes, item number 10, discussion of possible action on approval of amendment to the agreement between the city of Newcastle, the Newcastle Public Works Authority, and the Newcastle Youth Baseball Association. This is just to remove that softball portion out and just have that separate agreement for this baseball.
Baseball folks happy with that too.
They're tickled.
We are.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the amendment to the agreement, item number 10.
Second.
Motion second for approval item number 10.
Jean Reed,
Yes.
Mike Fullerton,
Yes.
Todd DeMeco,
Yes.
Marcy White, Carl Nell.
Yes. Item number 11, monthly treasurer's report.
Right, council members. So this financial report is covering 50% of our year, so that means our execution rate is 50%. So on the general fund side, revenues are actually sitting at 53.5%. Expenses are only at 50.3%. The revenues are ahead of where we expected to be, and expenses are where we thought they would be. Revenues for the capital improvement tax fund are at 51%. Expenses are still sitting kind of low at 43%. So that is within and below. Revenues for the NPWA finished the month at 49.7%. Expenses are at 55.5%. So the revenues are within our budgetary amounts, but the expenses are above. The expenses are above due to our projects. There's no way to say that those construction projects are going to have a set amount each month. So it is okay that we're a little high right there. Fire department tax fund has brought in $665,000. We have spent $1.2 million, so that at this point is covering about 55% of what we've had to spend on that. For our new wastewater treatment facility, we've borrowed a little over $49 million. And again, our first payment will be due March 15th, and we are still going to be doing these semi-annual interest payments because we left that loan open to use the funding as you guys approved before for the engineering for the NDR. The new meter loan is at $2.7 million. Neither one of that has not closed either, by the way. Sales and use tax in December came up at $932,000. $746,000 of that was sales. $186,000 of that was use. This puts us at the end of December 2.1% higher than where we expected to be. But November 25 was lower than November 24 by 6.8%. Our current indebtedness is sitting at almost $66 million. And I just wanted you guys to know that the CDs that we were encouraged to participate in this a couple of years ago. For this fiscal year, have already brought in over $75,000. Last year, the CDs made over $419,000. So that has been very helpful. Quick rundown of our balances. City funds. General fund is sitting at $1.7 million. Capital improvement tax fund is a little over $2 million. $1,059,000 of that is the 70% for our roads and bridges. $979,000 is our 30%. Economic development tax fund is sitting at $38,000. Cemetery fund is $49,000. Parks capital improvement tax fund is $230,000. Admin and technology fund is $176,000. Grant cost share fund is a little over $2 million. Transportation impact fee fund is $167,000. The opioid abatement fund is at $80,000, and the public places and spaces fund is at $2,800. On the NPWA side, Public Works Authority fund is a little over almost $2.2 million. Water impact fee is $1.2 million. Wastewater impact fee is $1.1 million. Wastewater plant fund is $6.4 million. The MMR fund is $339,000. Does anybody have any questions for me on the report? Okay, thank you.
Item number 12, general manager's comments.
I really don't have a whole lot of comments. I tried to do that city manager's report just a little bit different this time, and hopefully from this point forward, where I put everything in the report that the departments have done or are doing in the process of, all of the departments or big items that we're looking at. So, I mean, if there are any questions on anything that was in the report, I'm certainly happy to answer them.
Yes, sir. Item number 13, trustee comments. Item number 14 is adjournment.
Motion for adjournment?
Second.
Motion second for adjournment. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned. Someone call the January 12th, 2026 meeting in Newcastle City Council to order. First item on the agenda is roll call.
Carl Nell.
Here.
Gene Reed.
Here.
Kathy Mako.
Here.
Mike Fullerton.
Here.
Marcy White.
Item number 2, discussion of possible action on approval of the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda?
Second.
Motion second for approval of the agenda.
Gene Reed.
Yes.
Kathy Mako.
Yes.
Mike Fullerton.
Yes.
Marcy White. Yes. Carl Nell.
Yes. Item number 3, citizen comments. This is an opportunity for the citizen to comment on any matter related to the city of Newcastle that is not on the agenda. Might remind all potential speakers that all speakers should clearly state their name and address for the record. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per person with only one speaking opportunity. Council members will not respond to comments or questions. The mayor may end comment period at his discretion, and prior authorization is required for distribution of materials or to approach the council. This time is any citizens' comments related to the city of Newcastle. Seeing none, with item number 4, consent agenda. Is there any member of council that would like any items of the consent agenda removed and addressed individually? Now, item number 4, consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Second.
Motion second for approval of the consent agenda.
Gene Reed.
Yes.
Mike Fullerton.
Yes.
Kathy Mako.
Yes.
Marcy White. Yes. Carl Nell.
Yes. Item number 5, discussion of possible action on any items removed from the consent agenda, being no action on that agenda item. Item number 6, discussion of possible action on recommendations of the planning commission. Item 6A, public hearing, discussion of possible action on the application for approval of amendment to the 2042 land use map from general commercial to mixed use residential by R&R Land Zones LLC, River Villages located in the southwest quarter, section 33, township 10 north, range 4 west, Indian Meridian, McLean County, Oklahoma, property address, Northwest 2nd Street and Riverfront Drive, Newcastle, Oklahoma, reference with R 2025-005. Applicant has requested this be continued, so I'll make a motion to continue item number 6A to our next regularly scheduled meeting. Second. Motion second for continuance.
Gene Reed.
Yes.
Kathy Mako.
Yes.
Mike Fullerton.
Yes.
Marcy White. Yes. Carl Nell.
Yes. Item 6B, public hearing discussion of possible action on application for rezoning for PUD ordinance number 894, planned unit development, PUD planned unit development by R&R Land Development LLC for Riverview Villages located in the southwest quarter, section 33, township 10 north, range 4 west, Indian Meridian, McLean County, Oklahoma. Property address, Northwest 32nd Street, Riverfront Drive, Newcastle, Oklahoma. Case number R 2025-005. The applicant has requested this to continue, so I'll make a motion to continue this item to our next regularly scheduled meeting. Second. Motion second for continuance.
Gene Reed,
Yes.
Mike Fullerton,
Yes.
Bobby Amico,
Yes.
Marcy White, Carl Nell.
Yes. Item 6C, discussion of possible action on approval of preliminary plat of Riverview Villages. Applicant has requested this item be continued, so I'll make a motion to continue item number 6C to our next regularly scheduled meeting.
Second.
Motion second for continuance.
Okay. Gene Reed.
Yes.
Mike Fullerton, Bobby Amico,
Yes.
Marcy White, Carl Nell.
Yes. Item number 6D, discussion of possible action to approve planning commission recommendation for approval of final plat on Riverview Estate, section number 3.
Newcastle, Sinead Greenlee with the Newcastle Planning Department. This item is for the final plat and improvements of the Riverview Estate, Section 3. The owner and developer is the Builders Collective LLC and engineer is Blue and Associates. This is generally northwest of State Highway 37 and Country Club Road, and approximately 52.22 acres. So a little bit of background and history. This property is already zoned E3 Residential Estates District, and the preliminary plat for Riverview Estate Section 3 was approved by council on June 9th of 2025. You can see on the right side of your screen, this is the section that we're talking about. Existing Riverview Estates is Section 1 and 2, here below, south of that, and the final plat. So just a little bit of overview on what this consists of is 68 residential lots that are zoned E3. So the minimum lot area is 27,000 square feet. The drainage is designed that proposed flows will not exceed redevelopment flows or historical flows, and detention is not required due to the project's proximity to the Canadian River floodplain. And bargages will be allowed in this development as they were in Riverview Estate Section 1 and 2. Because of that variance is requested to allow the bargages in the E3 zoning district. All lots will be served by individual private septic systems. Existing 8-inch water lines previously constructed will be extended. 6-inch water lines are allowed to be looped on cul-de-sacs. The access for this will be extending the existing public streets off River Cliff Drive and River Valley Drive. The developer has, instead of dedicating parkland at the 3.5%, they are going to be doing the fee in lieu of, which would be $400 per lot for this development, which comes up to $27,200. That's in a fee in lieu of dedicating that required parkland. As I stated, the roadside bargages are going to be allowed in this section as they were in Riverview Estates 1 and 2, and no sidewalks are required. The applicant and their engineering team and our staff have worked through several iterations for this development, reviewing the water line plans, the plat, as well as all of the drainage requirements. All of the requirements have been met for the final plat and improvement plan. Staff recommends approval of this final plat and improvement plans for Riverview Estates Section 3. I'm happy to answer any questions, and the applicant's engineer is here as well.
One question I had, maybe it's a little late for the question, but I'll go ahead and ask anyway. On the water pressure, I've got, talking about water pressure in that rural area. How does it affect water pressure in that area?
I'm going to let the engineers talk to that a little bit, but from what I do know, and our utilities superintendent, Jim Miller, has reviewed these plans along with our WSB engineering team, and the 6-inch loop dead ends on the cul-de-sacs, that's why they weren't required to do the 8, it's to help with that water pressure, from my understanding, but I will let the engineer speak to that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening, City Council. I'm Tori Finnegan with Blue & Associates here on behalf of the applicant. And the water pressures within the subdivision are still quite high, well within the bounds of the ratings for the PDC and well within the requirements of DEQ And we have looped those dead end lines all the way around to keep water pressures up. And in the event that the water pressures are high at the meters, we have written in the plat that we require them to put in a pressure release valve on the house side of the meter if the pressures are too high.
Yeah, I'm just curious about being too low, you know.
They're plenty high, yeah.
I mean, we hear this all over town right now.
Mhm.
So, I guess, did you do an analysis on this?
Yes, we have submitted our red water analysis to the city.
Okay. Okay.
So you're saying the water pressure for this addition will be high, or how about all the other homes in that area? Sometimes I hear it's low pressure, but is all that getting, so this won't take away from the existing homes in that area either?
No, this will keep the water pressures as they are, and we, through our hydraulic analysis, we show that the water pressure is maintained.
And then what the lowest pressure was?
It's probably been 6 months since I put that together, but somewhere in the 50s PSI, 55 PSI.
Okay.
Which the lowest required, the minimum is 25, so.
Yeah.
And we do have our largest water tower sets right in the middle and at the highest point of that addition. And so in most instances, that should, if we can keep the water level in that tower up, there should be no pressure issues whatsoever in that location. I think that the time we have potential issues is in the wintertime when we're not running our plant. And so we're pushing water from North Portland across over to try to keep that tower full. So we're doing some things, city water department doing some things to help improve our ability to get normal water in that tower. And long term, you know, we've got plans for a much larger feed line coming across from the 18-inch line and from the Oakland City connection to that side of town. But in the interim, we're going to boost water to make sure that we can get more water to the tower, which will not only help them, but will help everybody in that general area. Summertime, you know, that's the closest tower to our water plant, so that's it. We're hitting that first.
I hear from that neighborhood as well, though. I hear from Oakmont, I hear from Coachella, obviously, but I also hear from this neighborhood here as well. And I don't quite understand how adding 68 more lines, even if you loop the back of the neighborhood, the north part, it's all fed from the front, right, from 37. So it's the same feed from the same place. And I think we need to be real mindful. I know 45 may be the minimum, but Oklahoma City's minimum is 60. We don't have 60 in certain neighborhoods now. You know, we manage what Coachella at a certain rate, and it's better. It's gotten better with pumps we've done and things. But some of those nicer neighborhoods we have, or this style neighborhood, I think we have to be real careful. I like the idea of looping. I don't know what that does mathematically to the pressure. I'm sure you all have looked at that, but you know, simple math tells me adding 68 more on top of the existing draw that's coming from 37, even if you loop it, still has to diminish the pressure.
Well, is that what I'm here, if I understood what you said, that it's us getting the tower filled adequately is why, if they are saying it's been lower, it's because we need to be pushing more during the winter from, is that what you said, like, is that what you're saying? So what he's saying is we put 68 in, it's gonna, if we're getting more to that tower, then the 68 and the rest of them are gonna have better pressure.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, with the goal of for the short term, we're just going to have to continue to utilize pumps and additional pumps to pull more water, push more water through the 12 we've got feeding over there from the Portland 18. Long term, we need a much bigger line coming from Portland over to this northwest sector of town.
Do we have the ability to put a pump there in the future if a pump is needed? Do we have a spot? Do we have, you know, we don't have to go negotiate an acre or anything. We have an area.
Well, I think we have plenty of room where that tower's located that potentially it could be put there.
Something down the road if it did become an issue.
So I think the tower, of course, is on the high spot and on that property too. So, but I will add too, so pressures normally run at the tower right around the tower out there. They normally run about 50 PSI. One of the issues, according to our new water resources superintendent, one of the issues we have is that an altitude valve is inoperable at the Northwest 26th tower. If that altitude valve is inoperable, it allows it to fill more and drains the Hibden tower quicker. And it's not allowing that Hibden tower to fill up, like the mayor said, to its full capacity. So we got to get that valve replaced, which they are working on, and there's a company that's going to come out and replace it, an entire 3-valve assembly on that. A little expensive, $65,000, but anyway, it will help that issue, and according to our superintendent, it should raise the PSI in Riverview Estates anywhere from 5 to 7 pounds. So that'll help us out. I mean, it's still not optimal, but it should help us out.
Now, with that new increase there, is that going to decrease overall 2060?
No, because it will allow it to balance out where it should. If it's, when that altitude valve is out, we're losing water out the top. That's the reason we keep overflowing on that tower. So if we have a constant, and you're losing water pressure, right?
Right.
So if you got that fixed and you're keeping water in that tower, then you've got more head pressure that's staying in the tower to be able to feed 26 and Willow Springs.
Sure, I had one question on the plat here. There's an unplatted section that looks like it's in the ownership of the developer still, contained within the bounds of the plat. Is that true, or is that just a portion of property that's not included in the plat? It's labeled as unplatted, but it
Are you talking about the area to the north?
has a heavy thick line here. Yeah.
That will
Looks
be,
like it's around the north.
yeah, that will be maintained by the owner of the property. He is going to be using that land to access his property north of the river and to access the
So
river.
the current owner is keeping a strip
Yeah,
all the way around the property, which is, the current owner is also still the developer. Is that true, that holds the HOA?
yes. And a portion of that sliver, most of the sliver that's along the north boundary is within the 100-year floodplain, so it's not, we have to stay out of that.
Just trying to figure out who's responsible for maintaining that strip, right? If I'm purchasing one of those lots along that piece, then you know what happens to that strip back there. Does that make sense? Okay. Thank you.
I forget where we are in the process. This is the final plat, but we basically have already acknowledged approval of this many homes going in there, right? Mm-hmm. So this was just a general question. We get it all the time, more and more homes on Highway 37. So we're at the mercy of ODOT to make decisions on traffic signalization and turning lane. I hear that a lot I've heard that from a lot of our residents there over the last few years. It's just so challenging, getting in there, slowing down and trying to slow down without an exit lane or anything like that. Is there anything the city can do to put more emphasis on that? I mean, do we have a full court press going right now to see if they can do anything, or are we just at their mercy, or what?
All we can do is request a traffic study, like we did on 16th Street last year and a couple years before that, and they'll come out and look at it. And if it used to be if it warranted, then they would pay to put a light in. Now if it warrants, they will allow us to put a light in. They run out of money, supposedly. So that's the most we could do. Now what gets us almost always on the traffic studies is cross traffic. We've got plenty of traffic on 37, but we rarely have enough cross traffic. Now once we get enough cross traffic, then that helps us warrant.
Well, Carl, there it seems like you'd have zero cross traffic unless they count people going in and out.
It'd be in and out, yeah.
Okay.
But they would have to look at that to see whether they would allow us to put one at that subdivision.
Sorry, Marcia.
Oh, no, it's okay. Do they consider just the fact that it's dangerous because the speed limit there and people coming out of the neighborhood, or is it only traffic count?
No, they look at accidents, they look at those type of things, but
I don't know if we've had enough, and that's what's sad, it's like, that makes us sit here and wish we get one.
No.
No, I know, it's like,
We went through that, and you might have alluded to that specifically, but Country Club,
Yeah.
Country Club in 37,
I know.
and it took forever, but we did keep kind of full court press on, and I don't know.
It didn't warrant it, and they let us put one there anyway because we got enough political pressure on that.
Yeah.
All right.
And it wasn't because it was political.
But it was a good result, though, right?
The wrecks are down, the wrecks are even
Yeah.
way over.
I can't imagine if we didn't have the Country Club live.
Well, the river would be even worse if we
It would
didn't,
be.
because it does at least cut off, so
Breaks
fix the
some
gaps.
traffic.
I wonder about the possibility of deceleration for that addition.
I think that would be a good thing, but I think the biggest issue isn't people turning in, it's people trying to get out.
True. Yeah.
And,
Well, and it's
I see
really
about 3 to 5
dangerous to the
in
neighborhood.
the mornings at 7.
It's true. But that's all over the central part of the town.
yeah. I have to wait to get out of my driveway in the morning. Because at times there's 6 and 7 cars flying by my house
Out the back road.
at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Are they school people?
No, there are people going to work, they're just avoiding
Oh.
62.
Yeah.
And so they're flying down Portland to get on without having to go around down 62.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's amazing every morning and every evening how many cars come by.
Well, it's definitely gotten busier coming out on Country Club from our neighborhood
And
too.
1:30 is gonna be, hey, we're growing.
Yeah,
We're growing.
hashtag growth pains.
And I know that this doesn't make anybody happy when you say this, but there's, like we talked about, there's all kinds of places all over town where people say, we need a light here, we need this here, we need that there. And there haven't been any accidents. Not that I want accidents to happen,
Right,
but,
to catch one.
yeah, so then, ODOT is very concerned, and talking to Director Gatz, he's very concerned because traffic signalization tends to cause wrecks. And so they don't like to just go and throw a stoplight in. That's one of the reasons why they're looking more heavily into traffic circles, because traffic circles, the stop and go of signals causes wrecks. And so traffic circles, they say are much safer than signalization. For my purpose, or my point of view on some areas that would work, other areas, we need traffic breaks like that 16, or like that Country Club light gives us. And so, that's one of the things I think we're missing on North 62 is something to give us some additional traffic breaks so people can get in and out.
Well, the reason I'm bringing it up is for that purpose, just to remind ourselves and others, it's not our call. And therefore, when people do say, we could support something if you all would put a light in there, and we just don't have very much influence on that happening.
They could do a letter writing campaign themselves
To them, yeah.
Like good?
Yeah.
to ODOT.
Lights are about 220,000 now?
No, plus 500.
Oh, they don't.
500?
Yeah, I think Tuttle's looking at putting money in on Highway 37, and it's about $500,000.
For a stoplight?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they went out the road.
That's a section line sort of away.
Yeah.
So this one may not be.
Geez.
Everything's engineered
Well,
cost.
no, it's just, you don't think about how much stuff costs till you hear it, and you're like, wait, what?
You gotta be on a waiting list for the mass ones.
Golly. Okay.
Right.
So it's not like we want to jump out there and start committing to $500,000
You're right.
traffic signals. They're all over town, but
Well, yeah, and ODOT at one point said, and if it doesn't justify it in so many months, they said it may have to come down, but
Really?
the mayor went to work on that one, so.
that's,
Yeah, they're not too, they like to make the decision on where those things go in.
Yeah, but 134th is Highway 62 also, and they've got
probably 37.
40, or is it 37? Yeah, that's what I meant, sorry, 37, and they've got their fair share. Eventually we'll get them.
Eventually we will, and we'll work with District 3, Ron Brown, the engineer, and John Larson, who's the traffic engineer down there. They're very responsive to us. We'll come up and they'll do this, but then they put their things through the magic formula, and if it doesn't, whatever spits out is whatever spits out. So, and that's like another thing we say, well, cross traffic is what would help. Well, you don't want more cross traffic, but that's the only thing that will get you alive. So,
One question, I'm not familiar with the original preliminary plat for this development, for the original development. Was this a phase on the first plat, the first preliminary plat, when it was very first submitted? When Riverview was established?
Was it listed as a
Sometimes
future
doing
phase?
phases. So,
The first preliminary plat was approved in 2008 and it expired.
well,
did it include this?
Did it have
Yes,
the
it did.
entire property developed out in this
Yes.
way? This is just taking time for this phase to
That's
materialize? Okay, thank you.
I think it's still way back then.
Yeah, this was the way it was back.
The very first plat.
Yeah.
All right, any additional questions for the engineer? What was your name again?
Tori Finnegan. Thank you.
Thank you, Tori. Is there any public comment concerning this agenda item? That's done.
Make a motion to, you ready for a motion?
Yes, sir.
I'll make a motion to approve item D. 6D. Final plat of Riverview State Section 3.
Second.
Motion second for approval item number 6D.
Jean Reed,
Yes.
Mike Fullerton,
Yes.
Todd DeMeco,
Yes.
Marcy White, yes, Carl Nell.
Yes. Item number 6C, public hearing discussion and possible action on application of QL&D Enterprises LLC, Timothy Ray Berry, for amendment to the 2040 future land use map, amending from suburban residential to urban residential property located in the north half, west half, northeast quarter of section 16, township 9 north, range 4 west, in Meridian, Plain County, Oklahoma. Property address 1404 Marty Lane, Newcastle, Oklahoma, reference with R 2055-017. Applicant has requested a continuance on this item. I'll make a motion to continue item number 6E to our next regularly scheduled meeting.
Second.
Motion second for continuance.
Jean Reed,
Yes.
Mike Fullerton,
Yes.
Todd DeMeco,
Yes.
Marcy White, yes, Carl Nell.
Yes.
Where's Marty Lane? I have to look it up.
Section 16, so it'll be a couple miles west of Main Street.
Okay, that may be Martin. Okay, good, thank you. I'll look it up. Go ahead.
Item number 6F, public hearing discussion of possible action on application for rezoning from Bay Agriculture into urban estate residential for TL&D Enterprises LLC, Timothy Ray Berry, located in the north half, the west half, northeast, split 16, township 9 north, range 4 west in Meridian, McLean County, Oklahoma. Property address 1404 Marty Lane, Newcastle, Oklahoma. Case number 2025-017. Applicant has requested continuance on this item, so I'll make a motion to continue item number 6F to our next regularly scheduled meeting.
Second.
Motion second for continuance.
Jean Reed,
Yes.
Mike Fullerton,
Yes.
Todd DeMeco,
Yes.
Marcy White, yes, Carl Nell.
Yes. Item number 7, discussion and possible action on approval of significant municipal dates for calendar year 2026, including council meeting, holidays, and events. We did meeting dates.
Which they're duplicated on there.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. Never mind. Sorry.
See if there's anything I want to challenge on there.
It's like a lot of people are gonna be doing a lot of things this year.
So you guys can take a copy of this, put it in your phone, so everybody asks when we're doing whatever on
Yeah.
Facebook, we can.
Right?
Football Camille. I'm gonna start calling Jeanette. She knows stuff.
Well, you know when the splash pad opens, splash pad closes, when
Yeah.
we're doing
Yes,
4th of July, when we're.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm taking a picture.
So,
Marty Lane's over there by Rockwell and Jordan Drive over there on 16th Street.
Oh, like, okay. I know Jordan.
I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve agenda item 7.
I'll second.
Motion second for approval of item number 7.
Jean Reed,
Yes.
Mike Fullerton,
Yes.
Todd DeMeco,
Yes.
Marcy White, yes, Carl Nell.
Yes. Item number 8, discussion and possible action on cost of living adjustment for all employees excluding police and fire, bargaining units, and the city manager.
I move to approve item 8 at a rate of 2.6%.
Second.
Motion second for approval of item number 8 at 2.6%.
Jean Reed,
Yes.
Mike Fullerton,
Yes.
Todd DeMeco,
Yes.
Marcy White, yes, Carl Nell.
Yes. Item number 9, discussion and possible action on approval of agreement between the City of Newcastle, the Newcastle Public Works Authority, and the Newcastle Youth Sports Association.
Make a motion to approve the amendment.
Second.
Motion second for approval item number 9.
Jean Reed?
Yes.
Mike Fullerton?
Yes.
Matthew Amico?
Yes.
Marcy White? Yes. Carl Nell?
Yes. Item number 10, discussion and possible action on approval of amendment to the agreement between the City of Newcastle, the Newcastle Public Works Authority, and the Newcastle Youth Baseball Association.
Right ahead of myself a minute ago, I put the amendment to the agreement, so,
No, Jim.
make a motion for item 10.
Second.
Make a motion second for approval item number 10.
Jean Reed?
Yes.
Mike Fullerton?
Yes.
Matthew Amico?
Yes.
Marcy White? Yes. Carl Nell?
Yes. Item number 11, city manager's comments.
This is what I was wondering, Camille, can you give yours real quick, please? I'm just gonna show this to council real quick. We got this in late this afternoon, or just a little bit ago, actually. This is the final renderings for the pickleball / tennis court area out here in the park. We did receive 4 different concepts. This is concept number 1. I won't go into a whole lot of detail because we're going to take this to the Parks Department here in just a couple of weeks, I believe.
On the 21st.
On the 21st. And let them see it, get their input on this. But this is the final rendering for the concept 1 that they have provided. Every other concept, the other 3 concepts are, of course, much smaller than this, not near as expansive.
Would you go back to the first, that one? So tell us.
So 4 pickleball courts, 2 tennis courts, 2 volleyball courts,
Oh.
and the existing basketball court. This area through here.
Wonder what all that sand was? Thank you.
Those are canopies.
Cool.
Each court all around it will have 2 sets of lights, one on each side. And then there are also benches right here in the center between these courts for people to sit on, wait their turn, or whatever they want to do.
You may not know yet or have the detail, but is there a plan to either resurface or improve the basketball court?
We can, yeah, we've talked about that as well.
Goals or what, is there any of that in the?
Right now, we're on a waiting list for a Thunder court out there. They actually have Oklahoma City Thunder court put in.
Like the one over by Fire or over there. Right,
Yes.
that's one.
Yeah, Kyle, our parks director, he's been talking to the Thunder about this, and right now they are in repair phases for all the courts that they currently have. And once that phase has been completed and all those things, then we're on the list for a new court, which would be really cool.
Cool.
But this does include fencing, lighting, canopies, just all different kinds of things around it.
I know you have others to show us. Have you had an opportunity to include Newcastle coaches at all on getting their thoughts and ideas?
No, we haven't.
They did specify the value of having it run the right direction. And I can't argue that one way or the other. If that's a blow-off thing, I get it.
The sun.
But I know wind and stuff like that. So I just, if at all possible, if you can if you can indulge them to, I mean, I know it's ours, it's not their role to design it, but that's one thing our AD 2 years ago said, and please let us know, because if you build it, we want to be able to practice on it, so.
Well, and it will be built to regulation.
Okay.
They will be built to regulation. Other than that, I really don't know that, I mean, we can't look at the school, because this is going to be recreational.
I know.
I mean,
If it's 50-50, what difference? All I'm saying is having that knowledge and then to say, hey, we can't accommodate that. But it's like, oh, if we had just known that, because famous last words, if y'all had just told us, we would have done that.
Benefit everyone.
Well, I will tell you this, that setup is the same direction that the ones that early one are running and the ones that more run.
Okay. So,
They run north-south.
North-south.
and the fact that they submitted that, they probably did consider that. So, okay, so.
Because then you don't have sun in your eyes.
Kevin, is there any way to work with this this school, I'm sure the question we're gonna get is, can they use it at a certain time? Can they use it for events? Is that would that be a part of the discussion with the school once it's done, or how do we do that?
That's already been discussed. Now, not with the school, we did talk about it here. If the school wants to use it certain times throughout the week, we will carve that time out for only them.
Yeah.
If they want to have if they have a tennis match, not necessarily a big tournament, of course, we don't have enough courts, but if they have a couple of tennis matches going or whatever, just from one single school and they want to utilize that, absolutely.
Or they have kids that are gonna go to state maybe and maybe.
Absolutely.
Slot and
we can carve that time out on the schedule.
I love that dual serving both purpose, because the school are Newcastle people, so.
Right.
Well, Kyle, I guess would probably be that. He does that
That's
cross
correct.
country. I mean, he works together with the cross country coach and they coordinate for big event there
Right.
at the park, so.
Super. What are the other, are you gonna show different ones? If you didn't get interrupted?
That's just a look at another look at the pickleball courts and, sidewalks going down through there. Sidewalks will be ADA compliant, 6 foot wide, I believe is what they are. They will have to be 5, but they got it to 6. And again, that's just another overview of why they put this in there for the last one. But anyway, I know why they did, because they have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all of these will be wayfinding. That's wayfinding. They'll number these courts. It's also established that way, so potentially, if we had a court that somebody wanted to sponsor and name it, we could get donation for this.
Gene Reed Ford.
There you go.
Gene Reed Memorial.
I'll put you down for 100.
Memorial. Gene Reed Living Memorial.
So anyway,
He goes on and on.
that's all.
You do tennis court, and Mike will do pickleball court.
Item number 12, council member comments.
Kevin, I didn't bring it up in the NWPA meeting. Is there easy way, I don't want to create more work for somebody, is there an easy way for Q1 for us to track water rate increase revenue from year to year, from 25 to 26? Start now with January to February, March, and see what that increase would be in Q1 and see how much of an impact our decision made 3 months from now.
Yeah, and it's
You did
already,
some of that already, I know you sent to me, so thank you, but I didn't know if we wanted to compare like last year and this year and see what track we would.
sure. Yeah, we can do that.
Okay,
I think the water clerk could track that fairly easily.
okay. That'd be nice to see in 3 months, right?
Right.
I don't want it next week.
I've got one thing, I got several text messages and phone calls this week, last week this morning over the trash issue. People not knowing when their trash day is and conflicting city page, conflicting information from Republic.
I got a card in the mail for mine. I've only got one observation. I got a card in the mail, and I still forgot to go to do it. But yeah, they sent out the cards to everybody with the new date. In theory.
Well, a
You
lot
didn't get
of people
one?
did. Some people in subdivisions,
Some people
like
say
half the people in one subdivision got it, half the people in the same subdivision, even all along the same street, not get it.
No.
And that could just be
That ain't
the best
good.
mail anyway, but, yeah. I mean, a lot of people are just,
But then at some point, the map we had on the city page was different than what they were using or something? I don't know. I know some people they missed a week, somehow with the transition, because I was wondering how they were gonna transition that. But then they said they were gonna come twice or something, I don't know.
so I don't know.
The map that was put out on the city website was what was sent to us by Republic.
Oh, sure, oh, yeah.
And come to find out, they had issues with their geo something,
Right.
GIS, whatever it may have been, when they were plotting that, and when it got put in the map, it wasn't correct. They were supposed to have went out today and put the cards, and there was 67 or 68 residents that there were issues with, according to, because they went over all that again and looked at what the days were, and there were 67 or 68 that showed the wrong days. So they were supposed to went back out today and put cards on those 67, 68 residents' cans to let them know this is your new day.
Okay.
So,
So it's on that, right? Is it correct?
We haven't received that yet from the public. We can't do anything with it until they give it to us.
Okay. That's what the city, that's what people are reaching out to, is our map, and, you know, going,
I understand.
maybe we need some note on that, I don't know how hard it is, change, maybe we can put the map.
Take it down. Be the only way to do it.
I think it's been a little bit like the elevator, where you sit there, you think you're almost at the floor. So you're waiting to update, you know?
Right.
And it's not there.
It's not quite there yet.
Have you heard anything else from the public?
Nothing solid.
Let's go ahead and hide that map then until we do.
Okay.
And I just trying to think of something to get out to the people in general. You know?
Right.
It's still kind of an issue, and,
I think
no, I mean,
they're doing a good,
I mean,
I think they're doing a good job, but until they have these hiccups like this.
yeah.
It affects
And
so
then
many
maybe
people.
inside their office, there was multiple, somebody would call in and get a different answer, somebody else would call in, get a totally different answer. And they call the city and get a totally different
Communication
answer.
definitely needs to improve.
any other council comments?
I got trivia. Do you know what's not happening tonight?
Football.
The National Football Playoff.
It's been done a long time ago if it was.
Exactly. I would not have asked all those questions.
Exactly.
Right.
But
They just took months.
they required one additional week to get to the final playoff.
Oh.
Because every year is played on this night,
Oh, I was gonna say,
second Monday in January.
Yeah.
So I'm a happy camper.
Any bets?
No special meetings next Monday.
Any bets on this one?
go Hoosiers.
Any bets?
I win.
Miami.
I like it.
Miami has a chance.
I like it. I like a good story.
Hoosiers, 100%.
And I like the story. I like the story.
You'd have to pick them, but Miami's not out of it.
They're the Gonzaga of football right
Those-
now.
That's OSU next year.
Shit.
Think about it.
Hey,
Cowboys.
I appreciate you not being a bandwagon fan now. You get points for that.
Thinking all those mean green transfers coming.
Exactly.
UNT North,
And all the other folks.
Mean green with the orange tip.
That's
you know.
Item number 13, executive session. Item 13A, discussion of possible action on entering into an executive session as permitted under 25 OS Section 307B4, discussing confidential communications between a public body and its attorney, concerning a pending investigation, claim, or action of the public body with the advice of its attorney, determines that disclosure will seriously impair the ability of the public body to process the claim or conduct a pending investigation, litigation, or proceeding in the public interest, State Highway 9 and US 62. I'll make a motion we enter into executive session with our city manager, our city attorney, our quasi-city attorney, I don't know exactly what to call it. That is here.
Consulting city attorney.
Okay. Guess that's it? A motion, have a second?
Second.
Motion second to enter into an executive session.
Jean Reed,
Yes.
Mike Fullerton,
Yes.
Todd Davidson,
Yes.
Marcy White.
Yes.
Carl Lamb.
Yes.